Hey guys, this is Jimmy Gilmore, the mix editor of the Daily Gamecock. I just want to take a few minutes and talk to you about my impressions of the 62nd Annual Primetime Emmy Awards, which happened this past Sunday night in conjunction with my That's Entertainment article that's going to be running in Tuesday's edition of the paper. I thought that this year's Emmys were really interesting for a variety of reasons, apart from the way that Jimmy Fallon hosted the event, apart from any kind of funny things that happened, most notably Ricky Gervais, I thought really killed it. But apart from the presenters, I was really struck by who they chose to award and what that says about the TV landscape of the past year. Notably, when people talk about the Emmys or when people talk about television in general right now, there's a real question of audience. Who are people making shows for right now, and how is that getting across? I think you see this discussion coming up a lot in places like cable, where we have specialized channels like TLC, like Discovery, like History, where they have the ability to make shows for a very specialized target audience. And that's really making the traditional networks like NBC, ABC, CBS struggle to find a foothold in programming. So I was kind of struck by two major things with the Emmys. One was how insistent they were on rewarding past winners in the drama side. The second was how insistent they were on rewarding new people on the comedy side. And that's kind of the two strings that you always see develop with the Emmys. The Television Academy is a really odd kind of organization that will always either award the same people or will always either award new people. That happens because usually 4 out of the 5 nominees in any given category are returners from the previous year. So just to kind of go through a few things that really struck me, you'll notice in the comedy series, Modern Family won that, and that was its first season on ABC. It's a great show, great ensemble writing, really, really solid acting from everybody involved. It had five acting nominations for the night, and Eric Stonestreet won Best Supporting Actor. I thought that was kind of an upset because Modern Family had 3 acting nominees, and usually if you have a category with that many people, they'll siphon votes from each other and someone from another program will win. So the fact that it won Best Comedy Series, Best Supporting Actor, and then Best Comedy Writing really kind of spoke to me about how the Emmys were taking notice of these new rookie shows, especially when Modern Family had to compete against Glee, which was another first-year show, but a really big breakout, and had already won the Golden Globe, had already won the Screen Actors Guild Award, so it already had a lot of support from other places in the industry. But also a show like 30 Rock, which, if you didn't know, had won the Emmy for the past 3 years for Best Comedy Series. So you kind of see these shows that are taking new wins coming up all over the place. Glee, for instance, won Best Supporting Actress for Jane Lynch and Best Directing for a Comedy, while Jim Parsons won Best Actor for The Big Bang Theory. It's, I think, the first Emmy win that show has had. And Edie Falco won for Nurse Jackie, which was that show's first season on Showtime. And that was actually the only win in comedy for cable. So you kind of see the Emmys were embracing networks on the comedy side, but then when we flip over to drama, we think about that. The winners that they chose there came more from cable stations, like Mad Men and Breaking Bad are both AMC shows. Mad Men won Best Drama Series for the 3rd year in a row. It also won Best Drama Writing and Best Drama Directing. Meanwhile, Breaking Bad won Best Drama Actor for Bryan Cranston for the 3rd year in a row, and Best Supporting Actor for Aaron Paul. That's his first Emmy. Other winners over there, Kira Sedgwick, The Closer, also a cable show. That's her first Emmy, but 5th nomination. So you kind of see this trend happening, and it's really interesting how last night it divided across the drama and the comedy pretty split, where comedy was all about rewarding the new, drama was about rewarding continued successes, even if it was their first time, like Kira Sedgwick. So this kind of bring this back to the notion of audience, which I opened this little thing with. I think what the Emmys were really kind of struggling with, and in my opinion, what they did a really good job of rewarding was trying to think about where's the audience right now. You get shows like Glee that have developed a really specific cult. The people who love Glee. The people who hate it really hate it. The same thing I think was true of 30 Rock, and the same thing I think is true of Modern Family. We're kind of entering an age of television where getting the highest rating doesn't necessarily matter so much anymore, which is why something like Mad Men, which exists on cable, they kind of have a little bit more freedom. They're not so rating dependent. They're still winning Best Drama Series 3 years in a row, despite whatever their ratings may be. So I think the Emmys flock to cable, their embrace of cable, but also their embrace of the networks, kind of signal that they're open to all sorts of different audiences. They're open to all sorts of different programs, and they really do want to pay attention to the ways that show creators and show writers and show directors are trying to do new things. Glee is a very innovative show in a lot of ways. It's doing things with the high school formula that people haven't done. Modern Family, likewise, is doing things that, like Arrested Development, are very interesting things to do with the family sitcom. Uh, 30 Rock is most definitely in its kind of meta pop culture orgy doing really bizarre and interesting things. And Mad Men, too, is challenging that mold of what can an audience get out of an hour-long drama, especially a period drama. Um, it's really pushing us to think that a lot doesn't have to happen in an hour. It doesn't have to be 24, which in itself was groundbreaking for coming out after 9/11, being so involved in the terrorist debate and acting that through a kind of superhuman action figure like Jack Bauer. Um, so again, to kind of cut myself off from rambling, the main point that I think we can take away from the 60-second Emmys, regardless of whether you agreed or disagreed, regardless of whether you were thrilled that someone like Eric Stonestreet won, or you were really upset that 30 Rock walked away virtually empty-handed, I think the lesson that we can learn is that even though we like to paint the different academies as being really stuffy and closed-minded, that the Emmys are really accepting of these new audiences that are coming up. They're really accepting of new creators, new directors who are really interested in what we can do with television now. And I really think that that's something to be thrilled about and gives us plenty of reason to keep watching television. Again, for the Daily Gamecock, I'm mix editor Jimmy Gilmore. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. I'll talk to you again soon.